All right, so here's take 3 on multi-step equations. This video obviously is going to be about solving multi-step equations. There is no note taker like I mentioned before, so we're just going to use Cornell notes. So we'll set them up. So multi-step equations. A multi-step equation is an equation that uses more than 2 operations to reach a solution. So we've done 1 step, 2 step, and now we're doing multi-step, those equations that are going to need more than 2. All right, so we follow this down. The steps. You're going to follow some steps to solve these equations. And the first step is going to be to distribute. And of course, you're only going to distribute if you need to, so that's if needed. Second step will be to combine like terms. Again, you're only combining like terms if you need to, so if needed. Third step you're going to do is you're going to undo your addition or subtraction term. So if you got like a +9 or a -6, you're going to undo that first. And then finally, you're going to undo your multiplication or division term. All right, so those are the steps you're going to follow. So let's look at some examples now. First example, 46n minus 2 times 3n minus 15 equals 60. All right, that first step tells us that we need to distribute. We're going to distribute that 2 to both of those terms. 46n is going to come down. Negative 2 times a 3n is a negative 6n. Negative 2 times a positive, or a negative 15, I'm sorry, is a positive 30, and that's equal to 60. Well, we did our distribute step. Now we can combine like terms. We got 46n and a negative 6n. 46n minus 6n gives us 40n plus 30, and that's equal to 60. All right, so we did step 1, step 2. Step 3 tells us we're going to undo our addition or subtraction. So we're going to subtract 30 from both sides. These cancel. 40n equals 30. And now our final step is to divide. We're going to divide both sides by 40. These cancel, n equals 30 over 40. And we know as Algebra 1 students that's not acceptable. We have to reduce to 3 over 4. So n is equal to 3 over 4. Our next example Example number 2, we're going to have x plus 6x minus 3 plus 6x minus 3 equals 50. And it seems a little overwhelming when you look at how many terms are in this equation, but we just got to stick to what we know. We've been simplifying, we've done distributive property, we have our steps for solving, we just have to follow them. Step 1, distribute. We don't have anything to distribute, so we don't need to worry about that. Step 2, we're going to combine like terms. Well, in this case, I have an x term, and an x term. Well, how many do I have? I have 1, 2, plus 6 is 8, plus another 6 is 14. 14x. Well, let's look at our 3. We have a negative 3 and a negative 3. That leaves us with negative 6, and that is equal to 50. All right, well, now we're back to a 2-step equation. We're going to add 6 to both sides. Cancel, 14x is equal to 56. Final step is to divide out that 14. Sorry, that's a 14. These cancel, and x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4. All right, a few more examples to go over. All right, first step again is we are going to distribute. So we need to distribute this 3 to each of those terms. 3 times 5 is a negative 15. Negative 3 times a negative y is a positive 3y. And we're left with this negative 60 on the right-hand side. Now we're back again to a two-step equation. So we're going to undo our addition or subtraction. Well, we got a negative 15 here, so we're going to go ahead and add 15 to both sides. Plus 15, plus 15. 3y is equal to a negative 45. Now we divide by 3 on both sides. Get that y by itself, and we have y is equal to a negative 15. Y is equal to a negative 15. All right. Example number 4. Negative 6 times 8 minus x. Sorry, let me fix that a little bit so it's not looking messy. 8 minus x plus 15 is equal to a negative 51. First step, just like it said in our notes, we have to distribute. 6 times 8 is a negative 48. Negative 6 times a negative x is a positive 6x. And then this 15 comes along, and that's equal to a negative 51. All right, well, next we got to combine like terms. This 6x does not have anything, so we're just going to bring it down as 6x. We're going to combine our negative 48 and our positive 15 to a negative 33, and that's equal to a negative 51. Now again, step 3, we're going to undo our addition or subtraction, or a positive and negative. So we're going to add 33 here, and we're going to add 33 here. 6x is equal to a negative 18. And our final step is to divide both sides by 6, and we are left with x is equal to a negative 3. All right, I want to do 2 more examples, and they're going to be a little bit different than you're used to seeing. So let's see if we had this. So if 3m minus 12 is equal to 9, we need to find what negative 4m minus 7, what is the value of that expression? Well, how are we going to do that? First, we have to find what m is equal to. So let's see if we can solve for m. 3m minus 12 is equal to 9, right? We can solve this equation. Add 12 to both sides. We get 3m is equal to 21. Divide both sides by 3. Sorry, that's the late bell. Divide both sides by 3. M is equal to 7. M is equal to 7. Now that we know what m is equal to, we can come back here on the other side, and we could plug it into our equation. 4m minus 7. Negative 4 m minus 7. Plug in 7 for m. Negative 4 times 7 is a negative 28. Minus 7, and then we get a total of negative 35. So we just had to use our knowledge, use that we know how to solve a two-step equation, solve it, find m, and then plug in m into the other equation. All right. Next one. Now we're going to solve the equation and justify each step. This is our final example. What I mean by that is you're going to solve the equation just like you would, but for every step that you do, you have to tell what property or why you were able to do that. What are you doing in each step? So x minus 3x minus 9 is equal to negative 5. Well, what are we going to do first? We know the first thing we do with these, there's a little 1 in there, is distribute. So our x comes down. Negative 1 times 3x is a negative 3x. Negative 1 times a negative 9 is a positive 9, and that's equal to negative 5. Well, what is that? That is the distributive property. Distributive property. I don't know what this means, but hold on. Okay, so now we're going to combine like terms. We can combine our x and our negative 3x to a negative 2x plus 9, and that's equal to a negative 5. Well, what's that? That is, we're just combining like terms. All right, so as we move down, we know we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. When we subtract from both sides, that is the subtraction I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. Property of equality. Subtraction property of equality. And then we divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. X is equal to a positive 7. Of course, you don't need that positive out there. And that last one would be the division property of equality. So we're just saying what justifying why we did each step. What did we use to continue on to solving that equation? All right, well, we'll practice this a lot more when I see you all in class. Y'all have a good day.